How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Farming Simulator 19 Survival Series. And we are just having a look at our crops and the potatoes. That was one of those mispronunciations for no obvious reason. But the potatoes are actually looking pretty good. Pretty nice. I definitely do prefer doing mechanical weeding before the crop pops through the ground. So you don't get all of these weeds sticking up, even though they're dead. It's just a little bit annoying. It doesn't look as pretty. Unfortunately, with this crop, we did miss that window where we were able to do mechanical weeding. So we had to do chemical weeding, and yeah, that's why it looks like that. So definitely not as appealing to look at, but it's fine. I mean, it does the same thing at the end of the day. Right, so this over here is our barley. So that is looking very nice. That is quite a big field, that one. And then we're probably not going to go around all the fields, because we are going to jump straight back into the silage. So I'm not sure if we are still going to get into harvesting this episode. I'm not sure. The fields aren't ready yet, but they might be later on. And I've been saying probably for the last 3 episodes that we are going to get into harvesting in the next episode, and it just doesn't ever seem to happen. So yeah, that's just how it is. I mean, we are waiting for the crops to be ready. We can't just get in there and harvest whenever we want. It needs to be ready to harvest. And this over here is the canola, which is looking beautiful as always. Canola, oh, looks so good. Always does. Wow, that's really nice. So it's definitely in the final growth stage, but yeah, still taking a little while to be ready to harvest. And that canola over there is most likely going to turn into some biodiesel. So that is something to look forward to. I'm not 100% that we're going to do it, but I'm like 90% sure that we're going to do it. So we'll see when the time comes around. We're going to have to make some alterations around the farmyard. I do have some ideas. But yeah, for now, we are going to get into some more bale wrapping. And this is quite a time-consuming process, unfortunately. It's definitely not the quickest thing in the world to do. But it's definitely worth it in terms of the financial gains that we'll get out of this. So yep, I still think it is worth doing. Is that a auto unload? Pretty sure I didn't unload it myself last time. I'm not sure if that auto unloaded. I was trying a bunch of different stuff. Let's have a look if I could do that manually. Alright, I see we're starting to run a little bit low. Well, I mean, we're not even half yet on the diesel, but it seems like this Voltra is pretty heavy on the diesel. Or we're just using it a lot. That could probably be it as well. Right, yeah, so I think that is manual unload, because the moment I hit that, it unloaded. But yeah, this is going to take a while. We've got 39 bales to go. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of a process. I'm not sure if we'll even get all of them done in one episode. This might be something that we'll do over a time period. And that's okay as well if we do that. We'll just leave the equipment out here and sort of do this as we get a bit of time to do so. But for now, I think we're going to jump into a quick time lapse. And we're going to get some of this knocked out. Again, I don't know if we'll get all of it knocked out. Most likely not. But I would like to, because I would like to get all of this done and dusted and sold before harvest comes. And it'll definitely be a nice little financial injection, which would take the pressure off of what we get out of the crops. So yeah, it would just be a nice bonus, basically. And that's really what this field is a bonus. So yeah, let's jump into that time lapse, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. that is all of the bales done. Well, after this one at least. And yeah, that'll give us 39 bales there. So I skipped through most of them because it is a very slow process and it's not the most exciting thing to look at. And this over here is a straw bale, and I'm very sure we can't wrap that because it's already dry. But I don't think I've ever tried, so let's see what happens. Yep, nope. Right, okay, that is as expected. And because that's already dry, it's not going to ferment at all. Right, so this is a very, very nice little piece of equipment. I do like this a lot. We can turn that back on. Turn that off. There we go, so we can see what's going on. And financially, we're at $136,000. And yeah, I think harvest is probably not going to happen this episode, but it is definitely going to happen in the next episode. So I think what we will do in today's episode is, well, we've obviously done the bale wrapping, which I don't think we'll do all of them today, but it didn't actually take that long. Maybe about 15-20 minutes, somewhere around there. So yeah, not too bad at all. So I'm gonna drop this off at the wash station. We'll get that sorted out later on. I don't have a place to put it as of yet, so it doesn't really matter if I just drop it off here. Yeah, it's fine, we'll just leave it there. We'll clean it up later and find a home for that. And next thing we need is gonna be our bale collector, and I think that collects 16 bales at a time, if I'm not mistaken, so it won't take too long at all to collect all of them. So what we will do, I'm not going to collect them and sell them directly. I'm going to collect them and bring them back to the farmyard. I'll drop them off, and then when we've collected all of them, we'll get them loaded up to the flatbed, and that flatbed over there, and then we will take them wherever they need to go for selling. And I need to take those IBCs. There's still 3 IBCs of herbicide on that flatbed trailer that I left there, and yeah, I probably should have taken them off when I was done, but yeah, it's always leaving something for another day, and then another day you're like, yeah, I'm not really in the mood to mess around with IBCs, but then you don't really have a choice because you need it. But that's fine, we'll get it taken off and it'll be okay. There's something in the shop that I wanted to buy, and I kind of forgot, but it'll work very well with this trailer. And not so much on these big fields, but on the little odd wheat field at the farm, we'll probably buy it soon, is a bale pusher. So you have a bale pusher to put on the front of the tractor, and that just sort of helps you so you don't actually drive over them, and like there you can give them a bit of a bump so they straighten up, so it's easier to collect. So that is something. They're very, very cheap. They're like 500 bucks. So we'll definitely be buying one of those. We don't really need them on these big fields because the bales tend to be lined up anyways. So not a big deal at all. But on the smaller and more random shaped fields, you do tend to come across some bales that are not lined up correctly, and it just makes collecting them a little bit more tricky. Not difficult, but just a bit more tricky, and the bale pusher really does help with that quite a bit. So yeah, we'll be getting one of those probably after harvest, because there are a couple of fields that we are gonna be baling, and I'm not sure if we'll be baling and selling or baling and keeping, because we are getting closer to the point where we might be able to afford some cows. I don't know how close, but it does seem like we are getting closer. So that is something, and we'll see. So maybe we'll keep them, maybe we'll sell them. I think I'd rather have the money at this point than just have them sit around the farm being annoying. So yeah, we'll probably sell them because there's bound to be at least one more harvest, at a minimum one more complete harvest around the farm, before we can afford cows, because our next big investment is going to be everything surrounding corn, and that might include some corn processing equipment as well in the farmyard, so it could become quite expensive pretty quickly. So, yeah. It'll probably not be around this episode because we are, well, not this episode, I mean, even close to this episode. Probably, I don't know, maybe episode 60, somewhere around there. I'm taking a very wild guess. Don't take anything that I say right now too seriously. But I'll probably guess it won't be before episode 60 that we'll get cows. But I could be very wrong. We could get cows in 3 episodes' time. I don't know. We never really seem to know what's going on around this farm, to be honest. That's fine. That is all okay. Right, I'm just gonna drop these off here. I don't know why. I tend to drop the bales off here every time, and no specific reason. It just seems to be a good spot. But, yeah, hopefully we're gonna make a decent amount of money out of this. Let's have a look what the prices are like. Silage. $1,131 per 1,000 liters, I would guess. It might be per ton, actually, because that's tons. Because I do have the mod that sort of changes the, whatever they call, the measurements. So straw barn is looking pretty decent in terms of price. There we go, that is the first load. Collected, so I'm gonna go back to the field. We'll probably drop into a really quick time lapse. I shall probably wait for that thing to fold up before I try and get through here. No, I'll be fine. I just don't want to hook a tree or a rock with that thing. And it'll lift by itself, there we go. But it waits for the forks to move all the way forward, and that does take a while. But yeah, we're gonna jump into a really quick time lapse here and get that folded out. We're going to get the last of these collected up, and we'll probably get them loaded onto the trailer as well. We'll get the IBCs off, we'll get as many of these onto that flatbed trailer as we possibly can fit. And yeah, then we'll get selling. So yeah, this should only take a couple of minutes. So sit back, relax, enjoy the time lapse, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, we have one full trailer, and this thing feels like it's just about to tip over. Let's hope we can make it up to the bale sales point. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably fatigue or just a general lack of concentration, but at the start of bale stacking, you probably would have seen me try to lift 8 bales at a time. Don't know why I tried to do that. That's never going to happen. And then immediately proceeded to reverse straight into the trailer, putting it in a bit of an awkward position, making it difficult to load. But it did turn out okay, after all. I do have the Voltra on here. Bale sales, I think, I can't remember. Left, right. So, yeah, I did at one stage put the John Deere onto the trailer, but that was just to give the trailer something to press back on, so that I could push the bales forward. Otherwise, I was just sort of pushing the trailer. But hopefully we're going to get a good price for this. The price is going up at the moment, but I'm not going to wait for it to go all the way up. I want to get rid of all of these bales because the crops are now ready to harvest. So we are definitely going to be jumping into that straight in the next episode. It'll probably take more than one episode to do all of that harvesting because the potatoes and that is a little bit slow. We will use some workers, I would imagine, to help us out with that. While we probably do potatoes, we'll get a worker to do the rest, I think. And if we're done with potatoes, we'll take over and carry on from there. Alright, that is a decent... Oh, that is a lot of money. 17,274, 75, 76. 30 of them and $8,638. So there's still a few bales left at the farm. We've seen a decent amount of bale stacking in this episode so far, so I'm just going to skip straight through that. I'm going to get them loaded onto the trailer real quick. And I will catch you guys on the way back to the sale point. Alright, so I've got the last few bales loaded up. It's only 10 of them, and the straw bale as well. I hope they'll buy it, because I don't really want to keep it, because it's a bit of an odd one. And that's just going to be lying around the farm looking weird, because I can't really do anything with it. So, yeah, hopefully they buy that as well. We'll probably get like 20 bucks for it, but that's okay. As long as we can get rid of it. And there we go, $4,710 and $17,506. That is beautiful. We're up to $223,000. There's definitely some landscaping to be done around that area. That's fine. I'll try and remember to do that at some stage because it is extremely bumpy. And it would be handy to have a road coming out the back so you can actually turn around. But that's fine. So, yeah, in the next episode, we are going to jump straight into harvesting. So I'm glad we got this field knocked out with the grass. We will get in there at some stage with a plow and plow all of that up and drill some seed and some grass seed in there. So, yeah, that is something that we'll probably do alongside the seeding and planting of our fields anyways. I think it'll work out pretty well around that time frame. And yeah, other than that, not much to it. I think we've done everything that we need to do. I think we are ready for harvest. I don't think there's any equipment that we need. I think we already bought all of the potato equipment, all of that good stuff. And yeah, this thing is dirty. This thing needs a good wash, so we're gonna park it around the back here. I think we've got another piece of equipment that needs some cleaning up and putting away. I don't know where we're gonna put that, but I'm just gonna leave the Voltra there for now, the old John Travolta. And yeah, that's something that sort of fell away with this series, was all of the names for the tractors. So I think if I can still remember them, the John Deere was the Buffalo, and that was the Kudu, the Mercedes. And then the Ford was the Honey Badger, and I think the Massey was the Warthog. So I could be wrong, but I think that was the names, and I quite like those names. I think they're very fitting for those tractors. It's just something that I always forget about. I don't really use them. But the names are still there. It's still the nicknames for them. They're just not really in use. But yes, the fields are looking beautiful. So we're going to try and get that knocked out in the next episode. We probably won't do all of it in the next episode. There is a possibility that we could, but I'm going to guess it's probably going to be 2 episodes. So, yeah, we've got some pretty big fields at this point. And a lot of it is going to go into storage because we're going to try and make some biodiesel off of the canola. And this is all of this wheat is going to go into the silos over there because all of this is going to be chicken feed. And then the rest of the crops will probably be sold off. The potatoes are going to be stored all the way back there in that new area because they need to go through the potato washer and all of the sorters. So we'll need to buy some conveyor belts and everything to make that whole setup work. So there is a lot coming in the next probably 2 episodes, maybe even 3 episodes. So we'll see how all of that pans out. But that is going to be it from me for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all next time.